Hello everyone, and welcome back to another great segment of Real Talk Rajheem with your favorite host, yep, me. And guess what? Today I'm at a secret location and I am interviewing a young man who comes to us by way of Florida. You're from West Palm Beach, Florida?
Yes, West Palm Beach.
All right.
Oh yeah.
This young man, I want to introduce LJ Ugarte to the show.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to Real Talk.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and what projects you're working on right now.
Well, I'm an actor and singer. I'm currently working on a project that's in development. I'm working on a documentary, which I'm really excited about. It's passionate. I've been working about pretty much a long time. I think about a year. It's in development. And I'm also developing a horror film called Darkness and Fear. I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty cool. It's gritty, you know?
Okay, let's talk about the documentary first.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the documentary is pretty much a behind-the-scenes look about my life. It's like how an artist developed and built and built and built. It's pretty much like, how do you say? It's like a documentary based on what an artist have to go through.
So like a day-to-day lifestyle of an artist, and
Pretty
ups and
much.
downs, the carousels and all of that.
Oh yeah.
Tell us this. What has been one of the biggest obstacles that you've had to hurdle in your career?
Well, it's the audition process, the recording process, the stage development. Pretty much what an artist have to go through is a lot of neglect. Sometimes that's what I've been through in this business. Making the record, getting the record out to executives, A&R people. It has become a struggle. Sometimes it has your highs, sometimes you have your lows. And I'm just one of those artists who are determined to keep going.
So let's say I'm an artist, or I want to be an artist,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
17 years old, I'm a high school senior, and I decide I want to be a R&B singer.
Yeah.
How do I get started? What do I do first?
Pretty much, there's a lot of showcases out right now. You can become a singer by joining showcases. American Idol is a big outlet for young artists to become part of. You can even become part of it by auditioning in the X Factor. I'm pretty much doing it the old-fashioned way, recording demos and submitting it to the record companies. I'm doing it. When I say I do it the old-fashioned way, I'm getting down. I'm submitting it to like everybody, whoever's willing to listen. Now the internet is a big market right now. You can promote yourself by the internet.
Well, I mean, is anyone really listening now? I know that we have a lot of social medias, such as Facebook, which is like the leading one. It used to be MySpace.
Twitter
is some things that you can use. Facebook.
Reverb Nation is pretty big right now. Sonic Bit, SoundCloud. What else? There's so many. There's over 100 different media outlets right now. You can promote. Just self-promote yourself.
I guess, LJ, is it important to be, even if you are a nephew of I don't know, one of the OJs, hell, I don't know. If you have, Whitney Houston is in the news right now, right? And God, rest in peace, Whitney.
Yeah.
But if you were Whitney's cousin or niece or nephew or whatever, and you wanted to get into singing, you wanted to be an R&B performer, lyricist, you have that niche. You can call Whitney and Whitney can call her people.
Yeah.
But for someone who comes from a rural area that has a voice and they want to be heard, they want to sing, what are some things that they can do to get themselves out there?
Well, having a last name like Houston or Richie, you have an advantage there. You tend to just crawl in there easily. To me, it's still a hustle because you have to prove yourself either to be the best, better, or bigger than them. Just like what's his name? Presley, the daughter. You often gonna get compared to your sibling or your parent. So you have to either prove yourself to be bigger than them or worthy of the business. Because right now anybody can become an artist. Anybody's making records right now there's a thing online that you can make demos on, submit. Let me just rephrase that. You can demo yourself by the way of YouTube right now.
All right.
You can make records.
As a matter of fact, speaking of YouTube, do you have a YouTube link?
Yeah, I do. It's you can actually go on my official YouTube. It's under Kilo 3000, which is my official channel, And you can also follow me on Twitter.com/LJ Ugarte.
Let's do one thing. First thing first. Now you said Kilo.
Yes.
Is that KELLO?
It's KEYLOW 3000.
Give it to our people.
It's KEYLOW 3000. It's my official LJ Ugarte official YouTube channel, which you can find everything. I video blog. I'm pretty big on video blogging right now, and I do my day-to-day. I video blog and I do journals on there.
IMDb?
IMDb.
Website, anything? You have anything like that?
Well, I have Facebook. You guys can follow me on Facebook, like my official fan page. I also do the day-to-day. You guys can follow my journey in the business. It's, of course, www.facebook.com/LJ.Ugarte, and everything you guys need to know about my career and my films, and as well as some of my magazine covers. You guys could go ahead and like it, put in your input, tell me what you think, appreciate that.
Okay, and with that being said, before we go to break, I want to let you in on something. When we come back, I want to know more about what inspired you, or who inspired you. So basically, what was your inspiration for getting into R&B lyricism? Okay?
Awesome.
And we're going to show right now, we're going to go and show your part of your day in Atlanta, coming from West Palm Beach.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to go to commercial, and we're going to be right back with more Real Talk. Don't you touch that dial. Don't touch it.
Discovering what you say is hard. I've been wondering what you took was mine. She's dancing on my feet. She never did have the steam. I let my heartache just fade away. I'm a soldier, you're a soldier. That's how I stay blue. Yes, keep dancing on my feet. You know you never did have mine.
Okay, and we're back from the break, and I'm sitting here with LJ Ugarte, all the way from West Palm Beach, Florida, to Atlanta, Georgia, and showing us how they do it in Florida style. So, before we went to break, I posed a question, and that question was, who or what inspired you to become an artist?
Man, it goes back to when I was, I believe, 5 years old. I remember having a cassette of...
So that was like 6 years ago? You're like 10 now?
Yeah.
Come on, look at his little face.
I'm only 12, so, just, whatever. So
trying to be hard, yeah.
Yeah, so check this out. I had a cassette of Lionel Richie's Dancing on the Ceiling that it belonged to my sister. And I had a Teddy Ruxpin, the boombox. I used to put the cassette in the Teddy Ruxpin. I remember putting the cassette in and thinking I could actually dance on the ceiling. I remember laying back there, I was just laying there and put my feet on the wall, and I almost believed in my mind that I could dance on the ceiling. That was pretty much it for me. I was like, man, that's just cool music. It started with that. Then Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was a huge inspiration, just like millions of other artists out there. Michael Jackson inspired me to pretty much tell a story. I chose to be in this business not because I have a spectacular voice. I never thought that I had a spectacular voice. I thought I could tell a story. That's why I chose to be a singer, a recording artist, because I see myself more of telling a story, getting my message across. And that's the only way that I could be able to express myself as a person. Every one of us have insecurities. Every one of us feel, sometimes we doubt ourselves. And I've known personal friends of mine could tell you that I doubt myself all the time. But when I get up there and sing, I'm a totally different person. Man, I think I can fly. I'm the man of the moon, you know what I mean? I'm fine.
Okay.
It's my way of expressing.
You just dropped several names, and I was just thinking R. Kelly when you just said I believe I can fly. but R. Kelly.
Yeah,
but anyway,
he's a great artist. He's
another
a great guy.
R. Kelly's definitely
a great guy. Yeah.
But you talked about Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, a lot of other people. Let's talk about some of the new artists. Neo.
J. Cole.
Usher. Usher's, some of the ones, Chris Brown, that's in the media right now. Is on the forefront and making it happen. What are you going to bring different? Are you going to bring a different twist? Because it seems that we have the same old thing, the same old, over and over and over. No one is doing anything different, and it's time for someone to break the mold. Yeah. Are you one of those mold breakers? And if so, what are you doing differently than they have already done?
Well, the thing that I want to captivate is bringing back the style that was once in the past, such as the music from the 80s and 90s that was pretty much telling a story. Not that I'm saying that none of these artists today are telling a story, but I want to bring back the grown and sexy type of vibe. I want to bring back like the You Are My Lady, Freddie Jackson. I want to bring back old jams. I want to be able to just bring back that smooth, jazzy type of music that we're lacking today. Right now, I'm a big fan of the new stuff today, the Rihanna's new stuff today, Carrie Hilson, and amongst those other artists. I'm a huge fan of them, but I want to bring back that old 90s flair. I kind of got heat for it for recording I Believe in Love. People thought it was too mellow and too jazzy for my style. But I said I've been getting a lot of respect from the grown and sexy. I call them the grown and sexy. That's the word here in Atlanta. But I'm trying to bring back that old flair. Lots of people really appreciate that. Like, wow, man, I had my first kid with that vibe. I had twins with that vibe, and that's the type of records that I want to make.
Did you bring in the music today that we can have our listeners to check out?
Oh, sure can. You guys can listen to my single "I Believe in Love," which I wrote and executive produced.
I Believe in Love.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna show you we're gonna give you just a little bit of that little sound bite of that, so you have an idea. Because I know you're wondering, who is this little guy coming from Miami? By the way, what is your national origin?
I'm Hispanic, Black, and Japanese.
Okay, so he's a he's a triple threat.
Yes.
Hispanic,
African American,
and Negro dog,
and Japanese.
and Japanese.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's like throwing paint together and just mix it and they created.
That's called an abstract. So we make you an abstract. Just take some paint on the wall, damn it, and just throw it on the wall.
It's like throwing a whole bunch of stuff, cooking, stirring the
Picasso
pot. Yeah.
type
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what really music is about, is how you feel, what your experiences are, and how those things how they tell a story about you or someone else's story.
Yeah, just be creative. Some artists get a lot of slack for being too different, but I have so much respect for artists like that.
Awesome.
I really do. I respect anybody who gets up there and sing.
Who's your favorite artist, by the way?
Man, I have so many.
Uh-oh.
Do you have time?
Yes, I got time. We can roll it till we cut it. All. So who is? If you just had to narrow it down, past, or present, who would it be?
My all-time favorite that I will always forever love and respect will always be Michael Jackson.
And if you could perform with any artist, past or present, who would it be?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
The one and only.
All right.
Yeah.
What genre of music do you do?
Pop R&B.
Pop R&B.
Yeah.
Which would be similar to a who?
I got compared to Eric Benet.
Okay.
I got compared to Eric Benet. I got compared to Lionel Richie. I'm also compared to Maxwell. Yeah.
All right, all three of those are great artists. And we're going to go to break real quick, and we'll come back and going to wrap up. But before we go to break, drop that email address and that contact information again.
Oh, yeah, you guys just be sure to check me out on Twitter, twitter.com/LJ Ugarte. And, of course, the same goes to, Facebook. So www.facebook.com/LJ.Ugarte.
And of course, always get ready for more of Real Talk Rajheem. And we're going to be talking about everything from the Obama administration to Whitney Houston's death. We're going to have some forethought, some back thought, some 20/20 hindsight, whatever. We're going to be talking about that and just getting a reaction from some of the people in Atlanta. So as we continue to bring you stuff, and you don't like or you don't agree with what we're talking about, that's fine if you don't agree with it. We can agree to disagree. Real talk is going to become more and more controversial. It's going to become more and more in your face. And a lot of people basically are not going to like it. But we have a particular demographic that we service. And perhaps maybe you're not a member of that demographic, but just try to have an open mind. The demographic that we serve is from 18 to 48 years of age, the intelligent, open-minded adult. So if you don't have an open mind and you're so holy, you're so heavenly bound that you're no earthly good, then maybe my show is not the show for you. But if you're looking for change, then Real Talk is your spot. And remember to shoot me an email. Send me an email. Remember to send me an email to realtalkwithrajheem@gmail.com. As you see it right there on the bottom of your screen. Send an email to me and requesting some things that you'd like to talk about or giving comments. You can also follow my blogs on, what am I on? Follow my blogs on RajheemIsReal.com. Rajheem.blogspot.com. You tell us a little bit more about your new project that you're working on, and where we can get a sneak preview of you.
Well, actually, like I mentioned earlier before, it's a behind-the-scenes documentary. Sort of, this is my version of the This Is It, just to get an inside look of what an artist got to go through between the audition process, the casting, everything. And that's in development right now, as well as this horror film that I'm executive producing. I'm also writing the film. I did mention earlier, I'm writing the film as well. And it's a pretty creepy horror story right now. I can't really disclose too much, but you guys be sure to follow me on Twitter, and I'll keep you guys up to date on that.
Okay. Yeah. And you have another project that you're working on, I think, that you mentioned to me about Extra Magazine.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Extra Magazine has been really great with me, and I'm forever grateful that they contacted me and they're interested in wanting to interview me. So big ups to Extra Magazine.
So hopefully you'll be on the magazine.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I would actually grace the magazine cover and the centerfold in the October 2010 edition.
Yeah.
So that was a great experience. Are there any other awards or accomplishments that you have?
Yeah, I'm actually was featured on the cover of Alizone magazine. Big ups to Alizone, they've been great to me. They gave me my first cover, and I'm also an award-winning actor. I'm a thespian award winner of 2000, which is like the South Florida version of the Tony for acting on stage. So
it's a smaller scale, but
it's a smaller scale, but I'm honored for that. I remember winning that. I was like, oh, they actually like me, So I'm honored for that, and hopefully sometime in the near future, as my roles get bigger and my film roles, get a lot bigger, bigger awards. But I'm not in this business to win awards. I'm trying to entertain the world, bless everyone with,
I just want to sing.
Yeah, I just want to sing. I want to make records. I want to tell stories, God bless, everyone that's giving me a chance to work. So I'm glad. I'm forever grateful. So,
Oprah Winfrey was quoted once saying that there is no big secret in life.
Yeah.
The big secret in life is that you can have anything you want if you're willing to work for it.
Right. Oh yeah.
You got to be willing to do the work. So
hard work.
Just continue to do what you do. 2 to 5 years from now, LJ Ugarte, what do you see yourself doing?
Well, I hope to be in everyone's hearts. I hope that I am accepted as an entertainer, and I'm hoping that that America and the world would give me a chance to express myself. That's all I ever asked. Like I mentioned before, I'm not in this business because I think I'm spectacular. I have a spectacular voice. I'm a storyteller. I'm here to maybe inspire someone. Reach for the stars. The sky's the limit. There's a lot of people that need someone to look up to, and I hope I'm that individual. I hope I'm that person that everyone can look up to. Say that if LJ Ugarte can make it, so can I, and that's the kind of role model I would like to be.
My pastor, E. Dewey Smith, over at the Greater Travelers Rest Baptist Church in Decatur, Georgia. I'm a member of that church. And one of the things that he said was that in his sermon on Sunday was following on the death of Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, it was Kurt Franklin, renowned gospel singer, well-known gospel mogul, was quoted saying that Whitney died, the cause of Whitney's death was because of her success. And sometimes when people, basically what he was saying is that a lot of people, a lot of critics and other people came down very hard on Kurt Franklin, saying that this is the time that Whitney has, her family is going through this. People don't need to be saying things, like that. But in hindsight and listening to what my pastor was saying, and I can understand now what Kurt meant by that. Becoming famous is it's a hard job, but it's not the hardest job.
No.
The hardest thing is to keep it once you get it. You see, for example, look at the foreclosure rate.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's easy to get a house. It's not that easy to get one, but it's easy to get a house in 1 year because you have good credit and because you have good financial stability. Yeah. But to maintain that dwelling for 30 years, when you could get a layoff, you could get fired, you could have to be, your job could move to another state.
Hospitalized.
You could get hospitalized or
Yeah.
get in an accident. Celebrities have a tendency to make it, and then after they make it, they have a problem with keeping it.
Bad choices.
Bad
I'd
choice.
say.
So, where do you see, what are some words of wisdom that you have for some of the up and coming artists that may be further along than you are, or may not be as far along as you are, but they need that wisdom? Getting it is easier than keeping it. What is your comment on that?
Well, I have to say that celebrity these days is extremely easy with all the stuff that's on television right now. No disrespect to anyone of the reality market or anything, but most of these shows are making anyone a celebrity. Famous these days is easy, but the thing that's really hard is being rich, because you have to work extremely hard to stay rich. Earning an income to be able to, just like a regular 9-to-5 job, you have to work. You have to really get down and go. Whatever it is that you do, you could be a maid servant or driver. You have to really work for your paycheck. You have to really get down and work. A lot of these younger cats out there become instant successes, and they haven't even worked a day in their lives, or they haven't even really struggled. I'm a type of individual that believe in working. If you really want to achieve success, you really have to work to keep it. You want to be more than just 15 minutes. You don't want to just be here today and gone tomorrow, and the next thing you know, you're in debt, foreclosed, and God knows what. So my best advice is to just get down there and really find your true calling and make that your passion. Whatever it is that you do, then you continue to do it. My passion is what I do right now. It's always been my passion. I've been told once that I didn't have an ambition. Can you believe that someone actually had the audacity to tell me that, you know what, you don't work hard enough and you don't have any ambition. Why are you still pursuing this?
I think that we should. It's okay to tell people.
Yeah, it's
to
kind
kiss
of
my part of my body that I sit on. I mean,
Yeah,
it starts with a letter A. We don't allow people to dictate our life. Where we going?
Yeah, and to me, I looked at that individual. I was just like, wow, have you not seen anything I have done? You obviously didn't, because what I do for a living takes a lot of work and a lot of struggle. I've been fortunate to get some great gigs. I've been fortunate to be featured in some of the best international covers in the world. I've been extremely blessed to be featured in international radio. I've also had a radio show at one time on the Blog Talk Radio, and also crossed over to satellite at one point. And just this individual saying that to me was kind of like, wow, that's kind of your insecurity, because you see that a person like myself or the next person is working.
Well, we know that hurt people hurt.
Yeah,
people.
and bitter people tend to want to insult. That's why I don't read a lot of the celebrity gossip blogs too much, because a lot of these bloggers want to insult another entertainer for making it. I don't worry about what the next person is doing. I try to stay focused and try to stay on the straight and narrow. I don't hate on anyone. Like I mentioned before, anyone who gets up there with a microphone, or if you're an actress, singer, or comedian, you're doing your thing and you love it. Respect their passion, respect their hustle. Don't knock them.
What are you gonna do once you make all these tons and tons of millions of dollars? Artists have a tendency of making all this money or bread, make all this bread, and then they got to get the Rolls Royce, they got to get the Porsche, they got to get the Bentley, they got to get the big house, they got to go in and make it rain. But they're not doing anything, they're not giving back to the community. You got another kid out there that's got a snot ass nose and a sagging ass pamper. Mama is someone shaking her ass in the club, and I'm just being serious. Mama is shaking her ass in the club. Needless to say that the child is the one that's suffering with grandma or grandpa. Grandma and grandpa is on a fixed income, and they're doing the best they can to take care of these children. What are you going to do to give back to the community?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I also have something that I'm putting together through my music. It's called the World's Been People Foundation. It's actually pretty much a foundation to give back. It's for young artists to be able to come to the facility and make something of themselves. Show your creative outlet. To me, Rolls Royces and Bentleys and houses and all that's just materialistic stuff. I've been blessed to live in a great home, and drive a moderate car and, you know, earn a good living doing what I do. But all that high and mighty fancy stuff, some of that stuff you see on television is an illusion. It's show business. To me, that's not the most important thing. Yeah, it would be nice to be riding around in a Rolls Royce and a Mercedes. Yeah, but I would feel 100% fulfilled when I've earned it the right way. Not renting a car like most of them do. I'm not knocking them, but I'm just saying that some of them do that. You know, it's
Right.
an illusion. Like they show, oh yeah, I'm driving around in a Mercedes, and really, you're driving around in a Mercedes, but your house is in foreclosure. Or
your taxes, and why in the
you're
hell are all
leering.
these?
Tax leering is like,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
one celebrity
yeah,
after another.
Yeah, and I'm saying,
It's ridiculous.
It's a lot, but
What
it's just
are
like,
you
wow.
gonna do to give back to the society, to these little naughty head, snotty nosed kids that's going out selling drugs, that's
Killing.
going out standing on the street? Do you know on the streets of
Yeah.
Atlanta? You don't know this because you from West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
You can go right downtown in Midtown right now, and you got young 19, 21, 25-year-old males out there selling their posterior, their rectum,
Wow.
to get money. These guys are male prostitutes to
Yeah.
get money.
I've heard stories.
Either it's
like
because they're the glitz and glamour,
Yeah.
or it's because of a sexual need, or because of a financial gain. Regardless of whatever it is, I don't think that young black men should have to relegate to putting themselves on the street, to selling their bodies to predators
Absolutely. It's,
from Georgia,
it's,
near and far, that's
Yeah.
coming down saying, I want to buy a piece of A,
Yeah.
or I want to buy a piece of D. I think that it's time for us to get a grip.
Yeah, and it's
And a lot of that starts right here with people like you putting the right stuff in your lyrics. Other than what I got and what I'm effing, is what I'm doing, who I'm helping, and who I'm financing.
right. And it's to me it's a bit disturbing, especially these little 15, 16-year-olds. They should be going to school, getting an education, you know. I've heard stories coming into Atlanta about that stuff that goes on in the downtown area, and it puzzles me. And in the back of my mind, it's like, gosh, what can I do? You know, sometimes I feel like, what am I supposed to do? What I can do is the best I can do is probably inspire them to get an education, go to school, get a decent job.
One of the things that I want to see,
And
because
I don't-
these kids are not, you got to understand, the kid, did you really want to go to school when you were in school?
When I was in school, you know what
Did
kept
you
me in
really?
school? Yeah, absolutely.
You really loved to go to school?
I did, because I was a bookworm. You
But
know,
let me
I was
tell
a
you
house
something.
boy,
You grew up in a nice house, moderate home.
You know, I grew up in
right?
Brooklyn, New York.
And how old were you when you got your first car?
When I got my first car, I didn't get my first car until I was 21.
Okay, I got my first car when I was 16. A lot of this stuff becomes peer pressure.
Right, right.
So kids don't have it. They hate to go to school because of what they don't have.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was one of those poor kids who went to school like that, and I got picked on.
Yeah.
But I realized that I didn't like the way I was in, and I needed an education to get myself out of that situation.
Right. Yeah.
And I know I had to have that. But kids now, this is a different time.
Yeah, get harder down.
My mother and father were both there in the home, and they raised me. They raised me. I didn't agree with everything they said, but they were there.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't agree with everything they did, but they were there. And when I was in the wrong, they corrected me.
And don't be shy. Be sure to hit your boy up, you know? Say something. Say, what's up? I saw your show. Hey, I like your songs. Anything. I'll reply to everybody. I'm cool like that, y'all. Y'all hit me up. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's what's up.
You know?
So on that note,
Yes.
you have just been entertained by my main man, LJ Ugarte.
Yes.
Check out some of his music. Make sure that you go on Reverb Nation and
Everything.
listen to some of his music. Download some of his songs, and let's support the brother. And hopefully this brother is going to come back and support us. He's going to come back and support our young people, and hopefully he'll become a role model and do something different than what all of the big name celebrities who do not reach back. You have to always reach back. Each one should reach back and help one. You just been entertained on Real Talk Rajheem. Remember to continue to check us out each month. Check out my blogs on blogspot.com. And you can go to raheemisreal.blogspot.com. Once again, thank you for watching your favorite show on Real Talk Rajheem. Peace.